Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ. And make sure you hit that like button because we do have some good news. Chris Thompson is returning from injury, but we do have some bad news as well. Paul Richardson broke his collarbone and is out 5 weeks. So we are going up against the Cowboys this week, and look at this. I mean, we're right in the thick of the playoffs. You can see here we'd be in the last wild card spot, so we would have to get this game. We'd have to win this one and keep winning because, look, I mean, all these teams are pretty tight. I mean, everybody's close right now, and looking at our division, I mean, we're going to have a tough battle. We got to still play the Eagles twice, got to play the Cowboys, got to play the Giants. The Giants are struggling. They're pretty much out of the playoffs. There's probably no way they make the playoffs, but everybody else is still in it. We are 7-3, and we're on a 2-game win streak. So, you know, the thing is we're winning at home, which makes a big difference. I mean, if you can win your games at home, you're doing a good job as a team. So we're going into this game versus the Cowboys. Remember, they tried to run a little bit with Zeke last game, and I don't think Dak Prescott really got going. He pretty much had like barely over 100 yards passing, as I remember. So let's hop into this game. This time I believe we're at home. Actually, I think we're on the road this time. So yeah, we're on the road. 7-3 Redskins versus the 4-6 Cowboys. So let's get it. Let's go. So that basically takes him out for the rest of the regular season, and hopefully we'll get him back for the playoffs. So another good sign is that we do have Trent Williams back. He is back. Jamison Crowder's out 1 more week. Jonathan Allen's out 1 more week, and Tim Settle is out 1 more week. So, you know, next week we'll pretty much have the full defensive line back, and I miss having Tim Settle. I mean, this guy is just a monster. At 67 overall, he is 21 years old. I think he is a guy that I definitely, only at 67, I still want to develop him a lot. I think he has good traits. He has 80 pursuit, 79 hit power. He has 76 block shed, 77 tackle. I just like what he does. And remember, we did just lock up Jamison Crowder, and he gets hurt. So, I mean, I'm looking up on this team. I mean, we have a lot of young pieces, but if we can't stay healthy, I mean, we got to do something because these guys just cannot stay healthy. So what I am going to do is I had the injury slider at 15. It still seems too high, so I got to move it down to 10 because this injury bug is just, it's stupid. I mean, it's so stupid. They keep injuring every single one of our starters. Like, it's ridiculous. So I'm going to make that down to 10 and see where that takes us. So what I do want to look at is just news around the league, and let's just see what's happening around the league. So it looks like let's see, Larry Fitzgerald, he's moved up a second all-time in receiving yards. It looks like Marcus Hunt was benched by the Colts. Jabal Shear was benched. I don't know how they can bench Jabal Shear. I mean, literally when we played him, he was in on every single sack. Like, it was ridiculous. So I don't know like what these teams are really doing. Let's just look at the transaction log too. So I mean, just looking at the transaction log here, it looks like the Seahawks signed a fullback to a 3-year, $5.34 million. I hope he was already on their team. I hope it wasn't okay. So it said re-sign, so that's good. I was about to say, if that was a free agent, I think they can only sign guys to 1 year anyway. So out of free agency. So it looks like, you know, there aren't too many big things happening here, but look at Eric Flowers. Eric Flowers, a right tackle, only getting a 3-year, $6.3 million contract. I mean, it's Eric Flowers. He's pretty much struggled since he's been in the NFL, but to only get $6.3 million as a tackle, I mean, that just shows how bad you are as a tackle. So the Giants signed Derek Watt, and then we made a couple of moves here, and not too many moves from around the league at all. There were actually no trades. I actually started off this franchise with trades off. I eventually turned them on, but still, it didn't affect anything. Nobody made any trades. So we are going up against the Cowboys this week, and look at this. I mean, we're right in the thick of the playoffs. You can see here we'd be in the last wild card spot, so we would have to get this game. We'd have to win this one and keep winning because, look, I mean, all these teams are pretty tight. I mean, everybody's close right now, and looking at our division, I mean, we're going to have a tough battle. We got to still play the Eagles twice, got to play the Cowboys, got to play the Giants. The Giants are struggling. They're pretty much out of the playoffs. There's probably no way they make the playoffs, but everybody else is still in it. We are 7-3, and we're on a 2-game win streak. So, you know, the thing is, we're winning at home, which makes a big difference. I mean, if you can win your games at home, you're doing a good job as a team. So we're going into this game versus the Cowboys. Remember, they tried to run a little bit with Zeke last game, and I don't think Dak Prescott really got going. He pretty much had like barely over 100 yards passing, as I remember. So let's hop into this game. This time I believe we're at home. Actually, I think we're on the road this time. So yeah, we're on the road. 7-3 Redskins versus the 4-6 Cowboys. So let's get it. Let's go. We are going to make a little adjustment. Chris Thompson is actually going to play slot receiver this game. And since we don't want to use another roster spot by signing a free agent just for a couple weeks here, we don't know what we're going to look like at receiver. We're going to try to run the ball a little bit more this game simply because we just do not have the receiver depth. And it is a possibility that we will sign one of our receivers off the practice squad. And one guy I'm looking at on our practice squad is Equinemius St. Brown. He does play for the Packers in real life. We did scoop him up on our practice squad before the season started. So here we go. We are underway versus the Cowboys, and you can see guys already getting off to a fast start, as here is Alec Smith throwing to Geis on the play action fake, and that is going to be a first down already. But you can see this terrible lighting this game. I don't know what is up with this lighting here. In some games in Madden, it just seems like the lighting is really dark for some reason, and then in this game you get like the terrible shadows here of the stadium. But here is Alec Smith rolling out this time, sliding there for a nice 5-yard gain, but on a 3rd and 5 thrown across the middle, and this time Thompson cannot hold on to it, and he's gonna have to get used to playing in that slot because we don't have many options right now. But on a 4th and 5, we do elect to go for it, and Thompson this time catches it and gets to the 35-yard line for the first down. So now on a 1st and 10, here is Geis getting going again, and he's getting a nice 9-yard carry. So now on a 2nd and 1, play action fake to Geis. The linebacker bites on that one hard, and look who's there. Vernon Davis, who's actually been pretty reliable for me. I've been throwing him the ball a couple of times these last few games, and he's been pretty reliable as that second tight end. As here is Geis just straight punishing defenders, already at 26 yards on this first drive. And here he is one more time using the truck and getting to the 3-yard line. So now on a 1st and goal, here is Alec Smith running a play action, waiting for his receiver to get open, but a little too long as DeMarcus Lawrence gets in for the sack that time. So now facing a 3rd and goal now here from the 15-yard line. Look who's open, Jordan Reed, but he can't get in. Remember, he had his best but his best game of the season last week, and we're trying to get him going in this one again. So we go for it on a 4th and goal, and that is great, flawless blocking by this Redskins offensive line and tight end set, and we get in for the touchdown. So now it's 7-0, and we have Dak Prescott. And Dak Prescott, he isn't having the greatest season. I believe he has 10 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. Not a great season so far, but I mean, they depend on the running game more than anything, so they're going to depend on Zeke. So here they're going to give Zeke a heavy dose of carries. There he is, juking our man that time, Quentin Dunbar, and he's going to make a 7-yard gain out of nothing pretty much. So now on a 2nd and 3, he's tough to take down. He's already got 20 yards rushing on this first drive, and here is Tavon Austin lined up at running back, and he's only going to pick up about 2 yards. But on a 3rd and 1, here is Rod Smith getting the handoff. But Zach Brown is going to get in for the tackle behind the line. So Dan Bailey is going to come in and kick the field goal and make it a 7-3 game. So now here is Alec Smith back out on offense, running the counter this time to Geis. And Geis is going to have great blocking on that one and pick up a good 9-yard carry. So now on a 2nd and 2, here's Alec Smith under center throwing to Geis on the play action fake, and he's going to pick up the 1st down. So a couple of plays later here on a 2nd and 4 under center, here is Alec Smith using his legs and picking up a nice gain, getting past the 50-yard line. So now on a 1st and 10, here is Geis getting around the edge. I don't know what the cornerback saw. I think he misread the play, and he does not make the play on the outside. So we do get faced with an early 4th and inches, and we do go for it, getting tackled on the outside. Nice little back juke that time by Geis. So now past the 40-yard line here is Trey Quinn getting open for his first catch as being a starter in this game. So now here is Chris Thompson getting the handoff in his first game back, and he's picking up the 1st down on his first carry. So now here on a 2nd and 10 inside the 20-yard line from the shotgun, thrown across the middle, and Trey Quinn gets welcomed to AT&T Stadium by Sean Lee on that one. Big hit. So now on a 3rd and 10, here is the pressure coming in, and Sean Lee gets to Alec Smith and strip sacks him. And man, that is just a familiar sight right there. So many strip sacks on Alec Smith this season. I think that actually might be a flaw with the game playing against the computer. They get far too many strip sacks. Strip sacks don't happen this often, and it seems like they happen quite a bit versus all Madden. I don't know if they're going to patch that, but it's definitely something that happens far too much. So now here comes Dallas back out on offense here, giving the ball to Zeke, and he's getting a few nice blocks on that one and then runs out of bounds. Kerrigan does force him out, and now they are past the 50-yard line. So now here is Dak Prescott finding his open target across the middle, Terrence Williams. And look at Terrence Williams. He breaks a few tackles and somehow gets in for the touchdown. So Dallas, just like that, they are now on top with the 10-7 lead. So here's Alec Smith back out on offense. Probably could have ran that one up the middle, had a wide open lane, but was just waiting for an open target to throw to, and takes the 1-yard sack. So now on a 3rd and 11, once again probably missing a wide open target across the middle, and David Irving gets in for the sack. And let me just talk about David Irving for a second. This guy is an animal. I mean, I cannot run to his side. He's always in. He's always creating a push. I just cannot run to his side. So now here is Dak Prescott back out on offense on a 3rd and 14, throwing all the way across the field. What is he doing? And Monte Nicholson drops probably the easiest interception he'll probably get all season. Nothing but green in front of him. That was a horrible throw, but we do get them to punt the ball away. So now here comes this offense back out on the field here with 4 minutes left. Can we put together a little 4-minute drill, but not with pressure coming off the edge like that? DeMarcus Lawrence gets around Morgan Moses. That was actually a 7-step drop back, and that actually results in a sack. So now on a 3rd and 13, here's Alex Smith showing off some power running as he breaks a couple of tackles. And how does he not fumble that one, but he fumbles the strip sack? I just don't understand that. So here is Darius Geis here getting the handoff and getting a nice 12-yard carry. So, man, I'm telling you, running to the left side is just a treat. Behind Jaron Christian and Trent Williams, I mean, it's just a treat running, as we do take another sack, but we do have Hopkins at kicker, so you know he's got a pretty good leg, and he legs that one through the uprights, making it 10-10 with 1:40 left in this half. But on the first play of the ensuing drive, here is Dak finding his target that time over the top of Norman. So now on a 1st and 10 here from the shotgun, Cole Beasley is wide open, and he gets the reception and gets to about the 20-yard line. So now here is Dak now inside the 10-yard line a couple of plays later, and he's driving the ball down the field so easily, this time to Allen Hurns, and they are scoring a touchdown before half. But we do have 3 timeouts, about 40 seconds left in this game. Alec Smith, can he get us into field goal range? But not with pressure. More pressure. That time another hit on the quarterback by David Irving. So now on a 3rd and 10, here is Alec Smith finding some running room and taking a big hit that time, but he is holding on to the ball. We're calling a timeout. So now 1 timeout left, 20 seconds left, past the 50-yard line. Here's Alec Smith with a clean pocket thrown across the middle, and Jordan Reed is going to be there for the catch, and we do get it within field goal range. So Hopkins does knock that one through, but we are down at half, 17-13, and we got ourselves a pretty good game. So now we start this second half, and Dallas does start with the ball, but on the first play, running a play action fake is not working on Zach Brown, as maybe he did fall for the fake there, but we do get the user sack that time. And on a couple of plays later on a 3rd and 4, Deron Payne, another sack. Like I said, it just seems like he gets a sack a game, and the rookie is just showing out this year, as here is Alec Smith somehow breaking out of a couple of sacks and picking up at least 7 yards on that. So now on a 2nd and 3, here is Geis finding an open hole, running over a defender and getting it past the 50-yard line. So almost already at 100 yards. So now on a 1st and 10, here he is getting the pitch play and getting to the outside, and that one is indeed going to put him over the 100-yard mark. But on a 3rd and 3, he's going to go right back down below 100 after the defense does get to him on that one, as we do have to kick the field goal, but that one's through, making it a 1-point game. So now here comes Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, and he has not been stopped up to this point, as he has 49 yards rushing, but it just seems like he's busting out any type of run he wants. But here is Dak throwing out to Zeke this time, getting involved in the passing game, picking up the 1st down. So now they're at the 35-yard line, 2nd and long after a run play that got stopped in the backfield. But here is Zeke hurling a defender and getting up inside the 45-yard line, now in our territory, and they're in business. But on a 1st and 10, here is Dak Prescott throwing over the middle and testing my user once again. Zach Vigil is going to be there for the interception, and Dak probably thought I couldn't get there. But man, Zach Vigil, he's great in coverage. He has good hands for a linebacker. He comes up with the interception. So now we have an opportunity to take the lead here. So Chris Thompson gets the handoff, and that is going to be a nice 6-yard carry. So now on a 3rd and 3, a couple of plays later, here's Alec Smith almost throwing the interception that time to Jalen Smith, but luckily that's why he plays defense. He didn't catch the interception. And we do have to settle for another field goal, and that's 19-17. So now here to start the 3rd quarter, at the end of the 3rd quarter, here is Dak getting it out to Beasley for the 7-yard gain. So now facing a 3rd and 4 this time. Dak under center, gonna roll out left, try to throw across the middle, and that one is going to be tipped by who else but Zach Vigil, playing center field as he forces a punt. So now we take over on the next drive. Here is Geis getting a handoff, getting the counter up the middle. So now facing a 3rd and 3 a couple of plays later. Here is Geis barely picking up the 1st down, but that is going to move the chains, as now we are going to try to waste a little time but also be smart as we do scramble out of the pocket, trying not to take a big sack, because we know that this pass rush is no joke. As on a 1st and 10, they do send the blitz, but we do run verticals, and they weren't expecting that, as Chris Thompson holds on to the ball in the slot, and that's going to be a first down and our biggest play through the air so far in this game, as here is Vernon Davis getting the reception, getting inside the 5-yard line. So now Alec Smith's doing a pretty good job of leading this team out. And now we're on a 3rd and goal, and look who's open. Chris Thompson, his first game starting at slot receiver, and he gets open across the middle, and Alec Smith throws a touchdown. That was a nice lob over the top of the linebacker, and we do take the 9-point lead. So now there's 8 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. Here is Dak. He's pretty lucky that was inaccurate, because if that was on the mark, that probably would have been an interception, if not a tip pass, and he does continue this drive. But on a 3rd and 10, we do keep the spy on him. Here he is trying to roll out and takes a big hit that time by Zach Brown, and we are going to force another punt. So now here is Alec Smith back on our offense, and on the first play, you see the play action opens up a big hole on the right side of the defense, and Alec Smith does scramble for a first down. So now on a 1st and 10, here is Geis getting going once again at 120-something yards rushing already, and we're now at about the 4-minute mark in the 4th quarter, as here's Alec Smith trying to roll out and get the ball thrown out, but another strip sack. I mean, you saw it. His arm was going forward. He was throwing the ball out of bounds, and somehow he fumbles and gives the ball back to the Cowboys. So now here is Dak Prescott throwing the ball to Terrence Williams. Make sure we tackle him this time, because remember that big play? He broke like 3 tackles, broke it for a touchdown. We don't want that to happen again, as here is Dak Prescott throwing the ball into coverage, and I have no idea how his tight end came up with that, and Vigil didn't. But they do convert the first down, and on a 1st and 10, I mean, a straight dime, lobs it over the top of Zach Brown into the hands of Terrence Williams for his 2nd touchdown of the game. So now we have 2 minutes left. Can we move the ball without stopping the clock, trying to run the ball? And we need to run to the left side, run behind big number 85 over there, and Trent Williams at left tackle, as here we are getting a nice carry to the left side. And look at our rookie at guard, Jerron Christian, just doing a number, and Trent Williams doing a number as well, as here's Darius Geis getting the first down, and that actually does burn all of their timeouts, and we do eventually milk this clock down. And what a game rushing for us. 238 yards on the ground. A lot of that came from Alec Smith scrambling, as he did have a good game once again, throwing the ball, 1 touchdown. Not trying to do too much with Alec Smith, as Geis runs for 157 and Alec Smith runs for 72. So, I mean, a big career day for Alec Smith, almost going close to 100 yards, as Jordan Reed has a solid game. Chris Thompson actually didn't do too bad from the slot. He had 1 drop pass of note, but, I mean, our defense did a pretty good job as well. Zach Brown had a sack, and Zach Vigil had interception as well. Deron Payne actually continues his streak of, I believe it's 4 straight games now with a sack, as he picks up a big one, and I'm just not seeing any production out of Shane Ray. I mean, he's pretty much non-existent. I'm actually thinking about benching him a little bit, because, you know, the pressure that Preston Smith actually gets is way better than Shane Ray, and I'm surprised. I mean, we picked him up as a pass rusher. We thought he would be our premier guy, but it just turns out he's maybe just not that guy. So hit subscribe, hit that like button, because we are coming down the stretch. Can we make the push? Can we beat the Eagles twice? If we can beat the Eagles twice, you never know. We still have a chance to win this division, but it's going to be tough. So stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go. But look at this. Wait. Before we go, look at this. 9 sacks from this defense. I mean, DeMarcus Lawrence had 4 sacks. David Irving had 2. I mean, that David Irving is just a monster. And, I mean, we just couldn't block this defensive line. So, for real, let's get it. Let's go.